All right, everyone, it's time for our next run. Apparently, this might get me in trouble, but I'm going to announce it anyways. It is the Pseudoregalia run. 100% no out of bounds map update with Killing Pepsi. Pepsi, good luck and have fun.
Thank you very much. So we'll get into like the category name. There's a lot of words in there. You'll know later on. We'll get to that later. But first, I want to introduce my host. The lovely Wilbun84.
Oh, hi. I'm Wilbun. I run the out of bounds category of this game, and excited to see some inbounds craziness.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And also, thank you so much for meeting the incentive very early. Gonna take a couple extra minutes in the run to go stop by some goatlings, say hello, see what they're up to. It's gonna be good stuff. But yeah, we'll get to go on here in a... Give it a countdown on 3. Let's do 3, 2, 1, go. Skip the cutscene. Amazing. First goatling here. Amazing. So, this is a Metroidvania. Came out about 2 years ago. Feels like literally last week, but you know, that's how time goes sometimes. We start off with a slide, like a skid, I should say. We can do side flips, back flips, we can do regular jumps, ledge grab. That's kind of it for the moment. We get very powerful fairly early on, compared to most Metroidvanias. You'll see a lot of fun stuff happening, and we continue to get really powerful all the way throughout the run. So Dreambaker, the first ability, so 100%. There's about 9 main abilities, a bunch of green orb upgrades. You'll see health pieces, as well as the 5 gold keys needed to beat the game itself. And yeah. Take a step here to talk to another goatling. Hello, sir. A little concerning, but that's fine. Do a little skid here. Do you want to talk about momentum and skidding, Wilbun?
Yeah, so we're about to grab Slide, which is probably the most important upgrade in the game. It lets us do a lot of crazy stuff, including some new tech that just got discovered. But the main thing that we're going to be doing here is called slide canceling, which is pressing jump about halfway through our slide animation, which cancels the animation but preserves the speed of it, and we can chain that into other movements. So you're about to see what we call an ultra hop here. It's a slide cancel into a backflip, and it gives us much more height than we would normally get from a normal backflip. There it is. See that little blue after image behind Sybil, our character there? That is getting the full ultra hop. Nice. A little good RNG there. That goatling can kind of be walking all over the cage.
Yeah, it could take like 20 seconds for him to get back.
And then you also see KP doing some what we call glide hops. It's also built off of the same slide cancel idea, but this time we're just canceling slides into a normal hop, and that gives us a lot of forward momentum kind of speed.
Almost forgot. There's a little hidden goatling over here that I will forget if I don't
In
get
the
them now.
cage, yes. The one who says strong eyes can't stop us, even though we just kind of skipped. There's supposed to be a mini boss there, but we just jumped over the trigger to avoid doing an entire fight, which takes a pretty long time because it's for some reason extremely tanky.
Yes.
Nice save.
Not even worried about it.
Also, for some reason, I can't hear Pro Pokenoob, but...
Oh, I'm not talking. That's why.
Imagine that. All right.
I've actually never seen this game, so I didn't even know that. I thought this was a much older game. So
Yeah,
all I know is there's goats in it.
Came out in 2023, which is... feels not too long ago, but you know. Okay. So grab our next ability here. Indignation. Basically just like increases our range and attack power as we get more meter on the left. We get meter by attacking enemies. A little bit each hit. I'll show you right here, actually. Just like that. Very good. And in the map update, there were about 7 time trials added to the game. They each add a new costume. Unfortunately, I will not be equipping any costumes for the simple reason that on keyboard and mouse, I have the chance to completely, like, soft lock my game. Hello, sir? So I'm so sorry that I have to run on keyboard and mouse, and you won't get to see that. Because the costumes are amazing. Yep. Yeah, these knee slides here, I'm gonna do them right here. They're not very... they're pretty old tech. They weren't around for a lot of the early, like, boon of the speedrun, but they've been pretty integral to the run now. To get, like, just a burst of speed pretty much from nowhere. Okay.
Now, and just in the last few months, too, we've discovered a new tech called Coyote Slide Jumps. Do you want to explain that? Because I feel like you probably understand it a little bit better than I do.
Yeah, I'll do one up here. There it is. So like earlier, we mentioned like canceling your slide to preserve the momentum. You can do that off a ledge too. That's like, I feel like most people discover that you can just maintain a bunch of speed if you like slide off a ledge like that. If you do a sword swing into a jump input in the coyote time of the ledge, which is pretty generous, you can also cancel the speed and get a jump. I can't really honestly say the specifics of it too much. I truly don't understand how it works, like, fundamentally. But if you kick and... or you jump and swing your sword at the same time, you preserve your speed, so long as you're doing it during coyote time. And we use it to clear gaps like this very easily.
Yeah, nice.
Because the ultras send us a bit more high than we would like to in a lot of instances. It's kind of a better arc to save a little bit more time. There we go.
And not to say that that tech is easy by any means, but
No,
it's extremely easier than doing glide hops, which, I mean, all the movement, pretty much all the tech in this game is very, not frame perfect, but very frame dependent. So our ultra hops, our glide hops, and the coyote slide jump are all in a very, very short frame window that you kind of have to nail. So anything to make that movement a little bit easier, I think all the players have been super happy with being able to do that instead of having to do glide hops the whole time, which kind of just destroy your hands, especially in a longer run, like 100% where you're playing for at least 30 minutes.
yeah, this is one of the longest categories of the game too. So the less I can have to do that, the better. IMO at least. Right, routing wise, we're going kind of back around this way here. This is a cool category because we see a lot of rooms that I think you only go to in this category. Like, in the 2 years I've been running this game, like, this is the only category where I go to, like, this path over here, for example. Like, we just don't go here.
Yeah, and the main reason that if you've watched one of these runs before, especially in the 100% category, that we are doing some of these rooms is because this is a pretty brand new route that completely ignores one of the two main upgrades in the game until the very end, that being our Cling Gem, which is kind of a wall run, and the Solar Wind upgrade, which is essentially replaces all of the crazy slide canceling stuff we have to do with just one button press. It launches us forward at full speed. And yeah, that was a great save there. But the reason why we're ignoring them is because both of those areas are pretty close to the final boss fight. So if you can find a way to do all of the crazy platforming challenges without them, it does save a good few minutes to wait to go to those areas till the very end of the game. And kind of until really a few months ago, there wasn't a clear way to do that. especially in Twilight Theater, where we're going to see some of the most bonkers platforming, difficult platforming you can do in this game, just hands down. It's very silly, but yeah, essentially you're making a really hard category, putting yourself at a disadvantage by not having that wall run ability, not having Solar Wind. Just makes it that much more difficult.
Get this goat. Ominous.
Okay.
They have the same texture as like the room there, so it's like really easy to miss them.
Yeah.
All right, come on. Nope. Okay.
Little mini boss fight here.
Whew.
We're
Just
going
trying.
for double swings here. Sybil has a 3-swing combo. The third swing has pretty bad end lag, so we opt to go for 2 swings usually when we're fighting bosses or any enemies. And now we're gonna go grab Sunsetter, I believe. Is that correct?
Yep.
We got a few more items before we get there. I think a health piece. But Sunsetter is really, really useful in this category because, like I said, we're not getting cling. We don't have that wall run, which means a lot of the platforming challenges that are supposed to require a cling, we're going to be kind of just kicking through most of them. We have 3 wall kicks right now. We're going to have to be using those very wisely. And Sunsetter gives us the ability to do a little mid-air backflip, which is really nice, which Sunsetter is kind of a down slam, but if you press jump about midway through that animation, you get to do a little mid-air backflip. So you'll see Killing Pepsi using that a lot if they need like a little extra height or a little extra distance.
It's probably my favorite like casual ability to mess around with.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool.
Yeah, so you saw one right there. There's another one right there. Nice coyote, slide jump, CSJ to make that gap.
It's so good.
It looks very cool. It does. The fact that it's easier and also looks cooler than glide hops is pretty great. You'll see that dark orb there. That is supposed to be used. Wow, nice save. With another ability that we've kind of ignored. It's usually an ability that we would get early on in a lot of the other categories of this game. It's called Ascendant Light. Allows us to bounce off of enemies and those dark orbs. So just adding another wrinkle to some of these platforming challenges of not being able to use that as well. You see KP just kind of barely making it over these gaps using all of those jumps and our Sunsetter backflip. We're moving towards a big switch here that opens kind of the main door to one of our 5 major keys. And the 5 major keys being kind of the requirement to finishing this game. Obviously, we're collecting a lot more things because this is 100%. And we're also going to see a really hard time trial. So I'll just be quiet for a second.
Let's see what I can do here. Stop 20. Okay, we're good.
Nice. That's insanely hard. So some of these time trials, like that one, there's a few other ones, the Dilapidated Dungeon, are really, really difficult just through a casual playthrough. And again, they are intended for you to use Solar Wind, for you to use Cling, for you to use pretty much all the abilities in the game to get good times. So to do that on those tiny platforms without any of those abilities is already amazing. But also remember, these are time trials, so Killing Pepsi does have to complete them under a certain amount of time to get the costume that we get from each of those time trials.
Yeah, there's no time trial that I would say is an issue with that. Like, I usually finish it with at least like 20 seconds to spare.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, if something goes wrong, then it can be a little close sometimes.
Yeah. I like the use of death warping there too to make that a little faster instead of trying to stay up on the platforms. But heading into Twilight Theater, everyone's favorite locale. But also not heading into Twilight Theater, right? Because we're taking a detour.
A little tease of the music and then we just leave.
Yes, the best song in the game. And then immediately, see ya.
And we're out.
Heading back into Dilapidated Dungeon because we have a few more items to get here. You're going to see another room in a second that usually would require Ascendant Light. You'll see the dark purple orbs that you're meant to bounce off of, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to do a well-timed Ultra Hop into some kicks, and maybe
That's
Sunset
bad.
or Black. Backflip. Oh!
Punishing respawn
One more
point.
try. It's great that that door is so close, though. So that's an easy retry, as opposed to coming from the other side of the dungeon, which would be a big problem.
That's what I wanted.
There you go. Nice backflip. And then we are heading to another health piece, another platforming challenge where it requires cling. It's very specifically a cling puzzle, but there's a tiny, tiny ledge that Killing Pepsi is going to be able to land on to kind of reset their abilities and have some more kicks. Gonna take a little save point there for safety.
Okay. Got those goats. Don't need to worry about that.
Yes, the good RNG goats. Here we go. One kick. Jump on the pole. Land right there just for a split second. Use the pole and 2 more kicks to get over to that health piece. Very nicely done. And unfortunately, there is a weird respawn checkpoint there, so we do have to just kind of go back through the puzzle rather than just death warping.
Yeah, and let's see. I'm gonna throw it over and say, how's it going, Pro Poke Noob? How's it hanging?
You know, it's actually doing pretty good. It's not a half bad day, and we also just received a $5 donation from Precious Marbra, who says, "Get up on the Hydra's back! Get up on the Hydra's snack! Get up on the Hydra's yak!" I don't know which one it is anymore, but that did go towards English, which now means that we have a tied bid war. And you know what that means about ties. We're not supposed to like ties, so this is my obligation to remind everyone in chat, before Kingdom Hearts 2, you have to break this bid war. And we also need to fight the hunky white-haired guy with the really long, unnatural sword. So, you know, I just want to make everybody aware of that.
Yeah, that time trial there is it's kind of split between you either can get all the orbs in whatever order you want, or you have to follow the order that the game decides for you. That one you have to go in the correct order, which makes it a little bit more interesting. But not too bad though.
Still, I'll say a pretty difficult time trial.
Yes.
As a casual player, and again, especially with that, you'll see all those like rounded obstacles that you're supposed to cling around that we just have to ignore. But I will say, you know, not having Solar Wind here does help sometimes on those smaller platforms, because you can just do the Coyote slide jump off of them, or just use our Ultra Hop on those really small spaces, which you normally can't do with Solar Wind. And now we're heading back to... Oh, is this our first time in Underbelly?
Yep.
Kind of?
It's
Yes.
and the only time, actually.
The only time.
We get everything
Grabbing
here.
Ascendant Light here, which is, this is the upgrade I was mentioning that lets us bounce off of these purple orbs, as well as enemies. Very useful. We're going to grab another health piece, and then we're going to grab Helical Power, which is all the way over in a far corner of Underbelly. It's going to give us an extra kick, so we'll have a total of 4 kicks, which is going to be extremely necessary for the Twilight Theater section.
For being required.
Really, yeah, absolutely required. Conserving a little momentum off of that moving platform there is pretty fun little trick.
Yeah, because this is the route you would take normally in pretty much every other category, especially the original patch of the game. So it's kind of interesting to come here later and only come in one trip. Should mention also, it's called Full Gold Patch, the original patch, because you see we get a blue trail here with this Ultra. We used to get a full gold trail, like a really cool looking one that gives us a little bit more speed and height/distance. But with the update, they kind of nerfed it a bit and changed a few things around. So we have to kind of work around that with our routing.
Yeah, so we'll be getting that full gold jump when we eventually get Solar Wind. But because, again, we're saving that till the very end of the run, essentially,
Yeah.
we just have to deal with what we have.
About 30 minutes into a 35-minute run.
Yeah, exactly. Just in time to use it for the final boss fight, and that's about it.
Right. This is a cool time trial. I'm gonna do a different route than... Not for you, Wilbon. Than you might be familiar with if you've watched other runs of this game. It's pretty new, like a couple months old. Go. Looking for about a 30 to 31 time. It'll be close.
Some of these time trials are pretty long.
Get that key, so I can complete the run.
Nice.
Okay, not bad.
Perfect, 31. Grabbing that costume.
Detour over here to grab one little thing. This little HP upgrade's kind of out of the way, but you know, it's 100%, so we kind of have to do it. Where are we if not Completithon, you know?
And it's out of the way because we're going to be taking a pretty unconventional route out of the underbelly. Usually there's a door that's kind of close to this area that leads right back to the empty Bailey, but we're going to be doing some weird stuff to get out of here.
Yes.
But it's still in bounds, technically.
Technically. I would never go out of bounds in this speedrun.
Don't you dare.
It's pretty hard to,
right.
actually. It's not like a can accidentally happen situation. It's you have to go out of your way to do it.
Yeah. Especially without playing, for sure. There's also some funny tech there with the bubbles. They essentially give you one solar wind jump, just launching you forward, but you can kind of hold on to it for a bit, especially when you're grabbing the poles. So you can kind of wait a bit and then use it at the right time to make that big gap. We're also going right around an invisible respawn checkpoint here so that we can death warp to a section a little bit earlier in this platforming puzzle. So nice, successfully escaped that respawn checkpoint.
Yeah, it's about 7-8 seconds, which for this game is kind of a lot, I would say.
Yes, yeah. And then we're going to be doing something kind of weird and cool after we make this scary jump, but there is an exit out of the upper part of the underbelly here that you would normally need Sunsetter to break through a wall, but we're going to break through it from the other side of this cage, just like that, and then be able to climb up through the exit and now head back to the upper area of underbelly, which is just underneath Castle Sansa, and we're going to grab our next major key.
The second one, I think, of the run so far. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of insane how many things we've collected, and we only have 2 keys so far.
Yeah, the last 2 keys are like in like the last 4 items that we collect. That'll be fun. Okay,
Another horrible thing that, or not horrible, sorry. Another interesting thing that the map update added was a respawn checkpoint. Right here on this key, usually we'd just be able to death warp, but we are going to have to do some very tricky ultra back to that platform to go back through this room.
Not too
A
bad.
nice CSJ there. And you'll see pretty much after every either knee slide / glide hop, slide off a ledge, or a CSJ, Killing Pepsi is just continuing to bunny hop. You can preserve most of your speed by continuing to bunny hop. You lose a tiny bit each time you bunny hop, so every once in a while we try to reset that speed by just doing another glide hop or a CSJ there.
Sneaky
One
HP.
more little sneaky health piece. Yeah. I always forget about that one.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Get to see this wonderful staircase one more time.
I call it the ramp whale because it's like a stairwell, but it's made of ramps. We're so clever here.
Now we're back in Castle Sansa for a second. Are you gonna go for it?
Oh, right. I'll give it a few tries. There's a
No.
come on.
So
With the fans.
there's got to be a weird
Okay, one more
place
try.
for it.
One more try.
Oh,
No, dang it.
dang. So yeah, there's a weird loading zone right there, and Killing Pepsi just discovered recently that you can do a sunsetter right on the top of the loading zone and slide. And I imagine what's happening is Sybil's legs are sticking through the floor just for a few frames, enough to get into that loading
Sure.
zone. But
Almost forgot that
riveting
goat.
conversation with the goats.
That one's in like my C plus, B minus. Who knows?
Yeah, we need a tier list of all the goat conversation.
That's what I get.
Thankfully, some great respawn points there, though.
Yeah.
I think there's a few in this room that help you get up this section. Quite a long section to get up to kind of the upper area of Castle Sansa. Here, it's kind of split into two main sections. The bottom section has a bunch of items all close together, and then this upper section, we have 2 green orbs and a health piece to grab. Another part of the game where we're kind of going backwards through a lot of this platforming. These platforming areas, just because of how the route works out. But if you watch any other 100% routes, they go the opposite way through this room. But just one of those cool things about this game. It gives you so much freedom of skill, expression.
Where's the goat here?
That you can really...
There he is. Do you see the hidden wall at home?
Yeah, I don't think anyone besides Jaxler knows that that exists. So you learned something today. There's a random goat there.
He taught both of us that like a few months ago. Never knew.
Yeah.
A little. Try to hit a very particular part of this. This little like, I guess wooden post here. There we go. Wall kicks are really cool. You can angle them in a really cool way. Kind of like maneuver around corners with them. And the direction you get sent from the wall kick is pretty cool too. Like, I don't know. I say cool. Just because it's like the coolest wall kick I've ever seen in the game. Should try
It is
at
cool,
home.
and I don't think we've talked about reverse wall kicks either, which is
No.
KBM only tech. Just kidding, but it's very hard on controllers. So, but they're super useful in this run, especially since you don't have any other kind of movement abilities to help you get to higher areas. So, what Killing Pepsi is doing, you'll see a few right there, is essentially kicking away from the wall while moving towards it, and the kick hitbox still interacts with the wall, but it tries to push you the opposite way. So instead of pushing you away from the wall, it pushes you into the wall, just like that was 3 beautiful reverse wall kicks there. So you can do them really fast consecutively, giving you a lot more option for where to move vertically if you can nail them. And part of the reason why they're easier on keyboard and mouse is because you can just continue to hold forward and press back, where on controller you have to do kind of a very fast stick flick. So just another piece of tech in this game that's just super difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree too. Like controller, whenever I play like randos or something like that, I usually use controller, and reverse kicks are probably like 80% harder on controller than keyboard.
Yeah, just, I mean, yeah, they're not easy in any sense, but just, I mean, I just don't do them in my runs because I only run on controller, so it's just something that I just refuse to do because they're that difficult. I don't think it can go unsaid that this route, especially with the new tech that just got discovered, is just so insanely difficult. Every piece of tech you're doing is difficult on the hands. It's so fast. And at this point, the runs are so competitive that you really just can't mess up if you're going for, you know, a top 3 time or something. Really sketchy room right here.
Ooh, that kick almost did not connect. What?
Getting a... Oh, barely just missing that swing. We're trying to get a little bit of an ascendant light hit off of that switch to barely make this jump. Nicely done.
That first time should not
One
have
of
missed.
two extremely scary jumps in this area. The Twilight Theater is always a hard area, even if you're playing casually. It's the most difficult platforming.
Okay.
Nice little skip here. I guess that is intended. It's not quite a skip.
Yeah, we're skipping
It's
everything
just
here,
how
though.
you're supposed to. Yeah.
A bunch of switchbacks in
We
this
have
room.
4 wall kicks.
Okay, you could not do that, please. Okay.
Nice.
There we go, though. This is the fun stuff.
And, well, I just won't say anything. I'll just let this play out.
That's a good one. Okay, thank God.
Nice. Oh my gosh. That is probably the hardest thing you can do in this game, in my opinion. Just in all of the runs in all the categories, that jump with just kick is so insanely hard. And then, again, to get that backflip, because it's a backflip and you're going backwards, KP has to do those 4 kicks on the wall, then turn around at the very end just a bit, enough to do a backflip in that same direction towards to get that ledge grab just barely. Very, very crazy room, but very well done.
Definitely the scariest part of the run. Am I gonna... Okay. Whew. I'm just gonna... There we go.
Nice.
Big skip
Standing
here.
on that tiny little bit of collision to get up to the final switch of Twilight Theater here. Hitting all 3 switches unveils our next major key that we just grabbed. We're gonna grab another health piece here, and then we're gonna talk to the best goatling in the game.
I wouldn't say it stands alone in S
They've
tier,
got a
but
lot.
they might be the only S+. Plus.
Ooh, S plus for sure.
Just gotta leave them alone.
Yeah, let's leave them alone for sure. Not after what happened.
Yeah, but for now, for the rest of the year, I'm just going to a time trial. Could be about a 40-second time trial. I'm just gonna throw it over to ProPokénib and see how it's going.
Well, you mentioned that was one of the hardest challenges in Pseudoregalia, and that makes me think of a white-haired super boss that exists in Kingdom Hearts 2. Do you happen to know the name of that character? Starts with S, ends in Epiroth?
Could not place it, honestly.
Okay, well, either way, we have. I was trying to be clever, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna say the wrong thing. But there's nothing clever about me explaining the charity we're raising for here. Girls Make Games believes in providing every girl and woman with the opportunity to discover their potential and talents through gaming and game development. With your donations, you're able to contribute directly to the Girls Make Games Scholarship Fund that provides girls and women with the resources and opportunities to pursue careers in gaming through GMG's many programs, such as their college scholarships, summer camp scholarships, and their new mentorship and internship programs. This message has been approved by my cat, which is currently chewing on my foot.
We'd love to see it.
I don't
Shout
like to
out
feel
to
it.
all the cats out there. They're hungry, dude.
He's asleep! Stop chewing on me!
Speaking of cats and goats and other animals, do we have any more goatlings to talk to, or are we into
Yes.
the final section of the game here?
We have one more to talk to.
I don't even know where that one would be. It's somewhere here, right? In the
Oh
MP
yeah.
Bailey?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the one that most people have never seen besides that hidden wall one.
And we just grabbed Solar Wind, so all of our fun but difficult movement, the glide hops, the ultra hops, the CSJs are all being replaced by Solar Wind now. Much easier. It's that forward launch, and you can see we're getting that full gold ultra hop now. Which gives us way more heights, just in time to do a pretty long time trial. This entire area of the game is essentially the time trial.
It's good, dude, because like every other category, you never get to hear this full song. And it's a total cat jam.
Yeah. Yeah, the music in this game, I'm just in general, is awesome. Seeing some moon kicks there as well. If you kick a wall in the first couple of seconds of using Solar Winds, you maintain moon gravity, and you can just continue to kick and stay in that gravity for a bit, which gets you to some really high locations. 8 out of 14. I can't believe it's still going.
Never ends. Alright, here we go. Just gonna leave them alone here.
Oh, okay. Just during the time trial too. Very nicely done.
Oh, this one we have plenty of time. Usually finish it out just under a minute. Grab the second to last major key here.
Nice. Yeah, thankfully our 2 last major keys are in the last section of the game here. The Empty Bailey, which is right next to the final location of the game, where we will also finally be grabbing Cling, which is again one of those, really useful movement upgrade, which will essentially only use one time, and then we don't really use it in the boss fight. So,
Kinda can't.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, if only you could cling to Princess and just continue to damage her. But no.
I'm gonna try to do a really fast climb here. To mix result in practice. Okay. Okay. Let's do it this way. That's what I get for trying to be cool.
This is everyone's favorite section of the game, by the way. The tower climb. Everybody loves it.
It's true. Some categories it's really fun. This one's alright.
Doing a tight ultra hop off of that tiny ledge here. Lining up in a specific place
Where's my light up?
on the carpet.
There we go. I used the wrong
Nice.
square.
Little ultra hop over that entire gap to get the Cling Gem. There's usually a big puzzle you have to do to get over there, but we just skipped the whole thing.
Dang it. Hold on. 1 second.
Oh.
I have to go off the
Hey?
screen. There we go.
There we go. Nice.
That happens sometimes.
Little fun with the UI, yeah.
Keyboard and mouse problems. That's also why I don't equip the costumes.
Right now
in the
we are
run.
heading up to...
That kind of thing
Yeah.
happens.
Especially with getting so many, just less chances to do that.
Last key.
And last time trial as well. After this, we will be completely done with the run and on to the final boss fight. Just crazy for how many things we're collecting in this game. Doing it in under 40 minutes is pretty insane. This is a very different time trial, as you can see, because we're utilizing solar wind as much as we can now. So doing a lot of solar winds off there and then reverse wall kick to get up these platforms.
I'll just do that.
Nicely done.
It's whatever. Even still, with like 35 seconds to spare.
Yeah. Nice. Now we just need to grab that final costume and we are on to the boss fight.
There we go. I'm gonna do the cool thing here. Using these platforms that spawn during the time trial to help get up faster.
Oh, that is very cool. I didn't know that.
Get up, please get up.
That's awesome.
Alright, it's final boss time.
Yeah, usually there's a very scary jump to get to that area, but yeah, that just makes it so much easier.
Mash B on my controller, and it works out sometimes. That cutscene's so weird.
And the final boss we're heading in here is Princess. It's essentially Iso Madness, shooting out a bunch of projectiles at us and teleporting around the map. Thankfully, because we have all of the abilities, we do a bunch of damage. You see those meters in the top left-hand corner. If those are full, we're basically doing double damage to her. So we're going to try to keep those as full as possible and then doing strong hits. Going for one hit and then a Sunsetter Slam to kind of reset which hits we're doing. And to get 2 more quickly.
She's not being nice.
Unfortunately, she's not being nice, and she's staying in the air.
Oh my God.
Again, it's all completely RNG, whether she's up here or on the ground. Finally returning to the ground, we can get a pretty strong hit here.
We are coming up on time also. That's a halfway mark. I'll just shout
And we'll
time.
be on the final hit of Princess. Yeah. Very soon.
And that's time. I didn't think she had that much
Nice.
health left. It's that time. That's a pretty good time with the goats. Cannot complain. I will, though, to be safe, just double check that we got 100% during Completithon, because that would be embarrassing. Can never be too careful. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Killed it.
And there we go. So thank you so much for
Yes,
donating
one
for
of
the
the
Goatling incentive. I always love talking to the goats. Met it so early, too. Really awesome. Thank you, Wilbun, for helping commentate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Shout out to the whole Pseudoregalia community Discord. There's a bunch of great resources if you're interested in running this game there. And congrats on the run. This was super sick to watch.
Thank you. With that, I am going to throw it over. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Killer Pepsi and Wilbun, for that awesome and oddly cozy Metroidvania run. It was very, very well done, and we met all the goatlings. Chat, we're going to be right back. Go stand up, stretch, grab some water, refresh, or watch a Completithon 2025. All right, we're good. I keep doing Welcome back to Completithon 2025. My name is ProPokeNoob. We're just getting set up for the next run coming up here. The Legend of Zelda Four Swords Adventures, all levels with Lonely, which when I read it at first, I thought that was the category. I'm like, oh, that's weird, a Four Swords adventure, but alone. But no, it turns out it's just a very antithetical combination that just happened to exist. But nonetheless, chat, what an incredible marathon we have had so far. $2,380.90 raised for Girls Make Games. You have blown open the top of the 100% that we were looking for. We are beyond the 100%. We're at 100% plus. At this point, it is now just digital brownie points. Who in chat likes brownies? I love brownies. I just can't eat them unless they're gluten-free and dairy-free. But brownies are spectacular, and thank you so much for making all of this super, super special. And if you'd like to help with future events, we always host volunteer applications before the events. They typically run alongside submissions and are announced on our Discord and Twitter. Keep an eye on those if you're interested in running production, tweeting the tweets, or maybe even hosting live on the mic, like I am right now. Even if you're just looking to volunteer for the first time, we would be happy to help you get your foot in the door. Also, I'll entice you, if you joined the Discord, I posted a picture of my cat, so when I was talking about him chewing on my foot, I'm baiting you into the community to to be a part of the community and see cat. They're both very, very good, so consider it.